Hello, I'm Oji, and welcome to Oral Gibbs Live. With me, man, he is not a stranger, he's always here with us. MP Emmanuel, leader of the No Political Party. How are you doing, MP?
I'm doing good, Oral. I'm doing good. Thank you very much. Every time I grace my presence here, I always smile with amazement when I see the advancement and the progressiveness that you're moving forward. So I like it. I'm doing good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and
for
thank
having
you
me
for
here.
accepting the invitation.
Most naturally, is one of the programs I would not really want to pass up at all under the circumstances, Oral.
I know it's been on the past few days. It's been very difficult
Yeah.
for you and your family. And how are things going so far?
I am okay. I am doing pretty well. I would be lying to you if I said that there's not a bit of rage and anger. I think it's a normal
Right.
process for one to feel. Besides that, I'm more concerned for my cousins, my niece and my nephews, because they look at me as their uncle, but really and truly my cousins. I'm more concerned on their behalf because of them being children and what was done and how it was done to them. We can probably get into that. That is what really have me troubled at the moment. But besides that, I'm still Chris. I'm still doing what I'll have to do, and I'm good.
You know, this is what, the second time that they
Second
came
time,
to your
yeah,
house?
yeah.
Were you notified or anything like that?
No notification. Didn't know about it. The first time I knew that I was under investigation for a number of different charges that they had, that was thrown out by 3 judges at the time, and simply with prejudice tell them these things are unfounded. And it's like the second go around again for the same thing. And I'm questioning how is that possible? And I was told, oh yeah, that was relating to land, and now this is relating to tenders and permits. And I'm like, but I never give out tenders and those sort of things. But I leave that in the hands of the justice and the ones who's the professionals, the lawyers, to deal with it. But I see it as a much more bigger picture, or I see it as something more sinister than just what they are claiming it to be. It's the same pattern, what happened the last time, a couple of months before an election. Same thing here again. And I am to the opinion that I'm going to stick on it, that again, it is being that they are trying to, influence the outcome of an election that is to come. And I say that in itself is not democratic. It is wrong, and we need to take a stand towards it. But I'm looking at it very, very keenly.
This time it's different though, because you're now a leader of
Yeah.
a political party.
Yeah. This time it is even more, like I said, and the funny thing with this one that goes around is that I'm not arrested. The last time I was arrested, not only arrested, but I was put into prison up in Point Blanche. Yeah. Yes, I was put in prison up in Point Blanche the first time. The first time, documents was removed and all sort of things were removed the first time. This time, there was nothing. The same 2 phones you went with is what you went with the first time. 1 folder, and that was it. So it tells me something, that this is a witch hunt. And a witch hunt to the worst that it can be, because children were involved. And the manner in which they were involved is what really, really have me disturbed, Oral. I'm saying that you had a prosecutor that was present. You had a judge of instruction, I believe, that was present. And they stood there and saw an 11 or 12-year-old going to school, first day of FBE exams, being roughed up and searched, his bag being ruffled through, crying, surrounded by individuals, and they did nothing.
Were
And
there
they said nothing.
armed police officers there too?
Armed police officers with guns visible, shackles visible, everything visible.
What time was this in the morning?
We're talking about 5:45, 6 o'clock in the morning.
that early?
That early. That's what we're talking about.
So how is he doing now? That's traumatic.
He is still I tried to talk with him. I tried to speak and ask. But boys will be boys, but he's still disturbed and traumatized by it. He was crying.
It was his first day for the test.
First day for the test. So, I asked him, how did that go? He said, well, I just had to try to put everything behind me and do my best. So whatever comes out, comes out. And I think he's going to do extremely well. And then his sister, too, who's the 15-year-old with all her assignments and everything, was roughed up. They grab her wrist. They risk her wrist, or she's on anti-inflammatory pills. Yeah. She has to take for the swollen wrist.
Wow.
Yeah, grab her wrist. Risk it and say, give me your phone.
A 15-year-old.
A 15-year-old. That has nothing, Oral. Absolutely nothing to do with the situation. But that's not the disturbing part for me. What is troubling for me, Oral, is that the adults in authority, which is the judge of instruction and the prosecutor, stood there and said absolutely nothing. And then when the mom came and asked, but why? Why did you all do this to my child? Why you did this? The judge goes and says, oh yeah, we saw Emmanuel give him a phone. Absolutely not true. It is a blatant lie. We have it on camera. We have footage of it, and we intend to release that footage. But I'm saying to myself, if the acting judge of instruction or whoever he is can blatantly tell a lie to that, then this whole thing and this whole process speaks volumes.
MP, when they arrive at your house, right? What did they say?
You want me to give you the whole
warrant?
I can give you the whole descript. So here I am. The morning I woke up, and I was going to scrape out the rice out of the pot to do some dishes and throw it out for the chickens early in the morning. So the chickens, come off the tree, they can go and eat. You know how we are in the Caribbean here in St. Maarten. When I opened the door, bunch of white people. All white people. No locals, nobody in resemblance. The St. Maarten police force, two of them stayed in their car.
You thought you were dreaming?
I was like, what is going on here? So I watched, I shook my head, I smiled, and I closed back in my door and I lock it. I closed back in my door and I lock it, and they came knocking on the door, and I told them, they said, oh yeah, we have a warrant. I said, well, then you'll have to break down this door because no one is coming in until my lawyer reaches here. And my little nephew, my little cousin came up and said, but I have to go to school, and today's FBE. That's how they got inside. So I opened the door, and they held him up in his school uniform, with his bag, with everything, and then they presented this warrant. And I told him, I said, I will say nothing to you. I have nothing to say until my lawyer is present. And not even that they wanted me to do. Not even that. They didn't want me to call my lawyer. They just wanted me to open the door. One time I told them, no, I'm not going to do it. But I have taken a stance, and I told many people that this time around I won't be going anywhere with anyone because I did nothing wrong. And I stand on that. I stand bold on it, and I'm going to maintain that position until.
So they came to search your house.
Yeah.
Roughed up family members, youngsters.
Yeah.
And then they left?
Then they left.
And they took what, just phones?
The same two phones that they went with the first time is the same two phones they went with the second time. And a laptop that is just a job laptop, a couple of receipt books, and that was it. Nothing. That was it.
MP, when people hear this, because it's happening so often now, people are questioning what's really happening.
I myself is questioning what really happened. But as a legislature, I am now to the point something needs to be done about it. Look, listen, or I'm trying to mince my words and say them in a mature and responsible manner. As a leader in this country, people listen to the things that you say. And I remember saying to the judge that, listen, I said, I don't trust you guys because you fabricate, you plant things, and you incite sort of things. Oh, he said, you're insulting me. I said, you are insulting me. I said, because you're in a country that is predominantly 99% black. And you think it's wise and okay that 12 white people should be coming in one's house to search for things. I say what that does is reenact, it brings back the apartheid era. It brings back feelings of racism, and it is only being that way because you have the authority to do it. In the Netherlands, you have to go to the Supreme Court to get permission to do that. But you have to justify your 30 million euros every year that you get to spend in the Caribbean to say that you're doing work. And that's what you're doing. So you come and you ransack people's lives, damage their credibility and their character, assassinate their personality. But it didn't work this time because you tried it the first time and now you're trying it again the second time. For what? Because of Emmanuel's position? For what?
You know, I was speaking with the secretary of Pro Swalika Foundation.
Yeah.
We did that show before you came. It will air sometime later. And I was telling him that, you know, MP Emmanuel, you was the only MP that stood up that was against all that aid was given to Somalia. And he agreed. And we are paying a price today for that.
We are paying that price. You know, I take nothing away from our sister islands, Aruba and Curacao. Half of my family, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, my grandmother, my aunts, my uncles, they're all from Aruba. I have more property and land in Aruba than I have in St. Maarten. Millions of guilders. Boutique San Nicolas, the Hotel San Nicolas, okay, the pipes for the refinery, down in Savaneta, so many things our family and great-grandfather Albert Hickinson has owned that is now part of the estate that we are all inheritance of. But when I speak of St. Maarten, I speak only for St. Maarten. And I'm defiant on that. Because, Oral, we have been welcoming everyone to our shores. Everyone. That's the business that we are in, bringing people to this country. But the business that we are not in is having everyone take advantage of us, which includes the Dutch. We built this country. We built it. With the assistance of the neighboring islands and the individuals that came here, built this country. And today, the people who have built this country, the descendants of those individuals who built this country, the children and the grandchildren of those individuals, they are not good enough to partake in this country. Absolutely not. I refuse for that to be. We don't have no money. We don't have this. Absolutely not true. If there's one thing this country has, is a lot of money. The thing is, where to find it? You have thrust the people of St. Maarten in a position now where we bargain and negotiate from a point of weakness because we have to ask for a handout. We have to ask for a handout. Instead of bottling down ourselves and saying, we are going to do it the hard way, we would have been in a better position today than what we are in. What we are in right now is beggars.
Well, it's a huge debt that going to take probably a few centuries to repay.
300 and something million guilders.
And
the 1 point something billion guilders that we owe the Dutch government, to the Dutch government. And I say it over and over. We came in or we came out of the Netherlands Antilles. We went in to the country of St. Maarten with about 750 million in debt. And I stand to be corrected. under the watchful eye of the Dutch government, under the CFT, under the control of our budgetary norms. We are 1.2 billion guilders in debt to the same Dutch government. Where are we going, Oral? And look at our people. Look at our country. Where's the assistance? Where's the help? And that's what's being used over and over. Oh, they're helping. But helping with what? There is more sufferance amongst our old people, unemployment amongst our young people, infrastructure, airport, hospital. Just look at it.
In the land of plenty, why should we be hungry?
Why should we be hungry? Why should we be hungry when APS sits on $700 million? Why should we be hungry when the EBITDA of the airport and the hospital and the harbor is more than $2 billion? Why should we be hungry? Oh, but good people like you already is not on the board anymore. That's the reason why things are the way they are. That's the way, and we built those institutions. Look at our country.
But today we can't run them.
And today we can't run them.
And that's outside force saying that we can't run them.
That we can't run them.
We built it like you said.
Yes. But look at this country. And you see, now that you have an individual, now that you have a leader of a new political party speaking a different tone, is not towing the line to go on, to go ahead to get along. Saying something else different, that no, thank you, but no thanks. I don't need your help. I don't want to do it this way. It's a different path.
Do you think that that the Dutch government feel like MP Emmanuel doesn't like the Dutch, which I don't think is the case at all. But if you're against positions, political positions, that's what assumed at times.
Well, it's absurd. It has nothing to do with me not liking the Dutch. It's just that I love St. Maarten much more. That's my position. Yeah. Again.
You commit a crime right there. When you love St. Maarten, MP, let me tell you why, and you know. I've been in television for decades. I had a show where I said, I love this island, waving the flag and everything else. Okay? You know what they used to say? Oh, he don't like foreigners. He don't like it. That's what your own people are saying. You see, when you believe in St. Maarten, when you love St. Maarten, automatically you commit a crime.
But I have nowhere else to love. Everything that I have is here.
But don't say it.
Why not?
Then you won't have no problems.
But then we have a problem. But that in itself is a problem. When I say we need to secede from the central bank and own our own, when I say we need to look into the Sabre Bank and take our own, our portion, when I say St. Maarten need to do what is best for St. Maarten problems, because only St. Maarten can solve them, what is wrong with that?
Everything is right what you said.
No one 8,000 miles away in a first and a second chamber that don't know Peak Paradise, don't know Marigot, don't know Great Bay, don't know Dutch Quarter, don't know Middle Region, don't know French Quarter, don't know Simpson Bay, knows what's best for my country. It can never happen. It will never happen. And they cannot love my country more than me. So I will continue to say it. And I would continue to say it with more vigor and with more defiance. Because as it is right now, St. Maarten is lacking leadership. St. Maarten is lacking leadership.
You know, too often, when you stand up for St. Maarten, you put yourself on the line. I've seen it with myself. And for some reason, when you're a politician and you make those kind of statements that you stand for St. Maarten for us, St. Maarten, you know, that people, they get angry.
It's not only St. Maarten first. It is St. Maarten first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Again, I take nothing away. We can cooperate. We can work together. But I don't want your policies to dictate my policies. That's what I'm saying. I don't need you to determine what is best for me. No. We have the expert and the expertise right here. And if we don't have them, leave it to me to go and find what best suits my country. Not for you to impose and say, oh, they must come from, the CFO must be from Holland for the airport. And you can dictate, and 1, 2, and as much as they come and they go, you keep bringing them. That's a fundamental problem.
In case you've just joined us, this is Oral Gibbs Live. My guest is MP Emmanuel. MP Emmanuel is leader of the Now political party. We're here speaking with him on Hot 99.9 FM radio, YouTube, Facebook, and TV Caribbean. MP, you was a minister of Romy.
Yes.
You're very knowledgeable and passionate about growth and progress for St. Maarten.
Yeah, most definitely.
I know that. And let's look at GEBE.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? What's going on, MP?
I know my boy Troy is trying his utmost best to get to the bottom and turn it around, but I think it's a daunting task. Again, we have left it to its perils, and we have decided to treat GEBE as if it's a pot cover in our backyard. When you have the pot with plants in it and the cover at the bottom for the water to drain out, that's how we have treated GEBE. That now it have reached to a stage now, there's a crack. There's a huge crack. You can't mend it. You can't fix it in terms of sticking it back with crazy glue. No, you need a whole brand new pot. And that's what's going on with GEBE. GEBE needs a purge. And one side or the other will have to accept the loss and move forward. There is no middle way. There is none. And what it is a whole assessment and review of all our government-owned companies. Because it's a paradigm shift happening in this country. And Oral, these government institutions, such as the harbor, such as Telem, such as the airport, such as GEBE, and you name them, these are the pillars and the foundations that's going to keep our economy, that's going to keep our country running. As it is right now, the hospital is in trouble. They can say whatever they want. I listened to the minister the other day when he said he's not pleased with the progress of the hospital. I have 2 years saying that. The airport is a problem. GEBE is a problem. Court cases coming for harbor, it's a problem. But what does it all amounts to, Oral? Again, it all amounts to leadership. Leadership. So to put your finger and say, I'm just going to solve the problem at GEBE in one go, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You need to get to the root bottom of the cause, root it out, and start afresh. Will GBE have to take the loss of it? Yes. But it's the only way.
But MP, I want to quote from you a headline in the paper last week. PM, government aims to achieve 80 to 100% renewable energy by 2030. That's 7 years from now, MP. What do you think about
It's
that?
It's called wishful thinking.
Okay.
Because if that is the case, here we are in 2023, in the middle of 2023. Yeah. So we're talking about 6 years and a half.
To go from zero.
To go from zero to 80 to 100%. Show me the foundation. Show me what you started with. Elections is next year. What have you put in place that even if your government is not there, There's a continuation of what you're talking about.
What do you
It's
call?
easy to just say things that amounts to nothing, that means nothing.
But it gets you, it gets you kind of angry when you read that kind of headline. What they're crazy, stupid, dumb. They don't understand it. It can't work, MP. It's not possible. It's impossible to achieve even 25% as we speak here right now, because we're going from zero. And I understand GB very well. I was there for 2 years. I can tell you, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, but renew. But again, and and they're talking about about the cheap gas and LNG and this, and I have to keep reminding them, LNG is not a renewable energy. It's a fossil fuel. You still have to pry it out
And the price
of
has
the
gone
earth.
up now since you.
And the prices have gone up. Renewable energy is wind. It is sun. It is garbage conversion into energy.
Well, the reason why it's renewable
It's solar.
infinite, really. You can
This is
always
it.
get it there.
You can always get it. Always get it. So again, I have to ask the question. In 2030, from
Zero.
0 to 80 or 100%, that statement is based on what, Prime Minister?
I know, but MP, look, I'm sorry. When people with a little bit of knowledge, even dumb people, see that, they ask themselves, was somebody really got some idiots? Because the population is insulted.
But look at it this way.
It's insulting to the population.
Look at it this way, really. You have the NRPB that have appointed Mr. Franklin Richards to be the special something in terms of removing the individuals from the landfill or the dump site. Up to this present moment, no one knows their intentions with the land. Or to deal with what? $20 million. $20 million. What are we going to do? Or recycle? We don't recycle here. Or separation. And then it goes where? Where's the plan? Where's the prospectus? Where is the future? What are we doing? We accept these things without questioning.
But you see, MB, one of the reasons why you see I react the way I react, I'm tired. I'm really tired. I'm kind of like really pissed off with the whole thing, how this island is going, because I stood at the forefront with very few people fighting for this island to make sure we are where we are today, and to see people come and just mess it up completely, destroy it. And it's all having their own bodies come in, no experience, no knowledge, nothing, no commitment to this island. Sometimes our own people. You ask yourself what's happening, because I still can't believe that headline from the Prime Minister on renewable energy. I think somebody got to sit the Prime Minister down and explain to her how this thing works from start to finish, and it takes just the years alone to prepare to get going. It's just unbelievable. So I come back to that because I just cannot believe she made that statement. That has to be an error in the paper.
Well, let me break it down for you in terms of a moving forward and how to now see it. The dump site as it is right now is more than 42 meters high.
Growing by the week.
And it grows every day. So renewable energy, you cannot talk one without saying, I'm going to tackle that. It needs to be remediated. What is remediated? It needs to come down.
You know, Maarten did that, right?
Maarten did it. And look at it right now.
Yeah.
It needs to be, mined. What does that mean? The copper, the metal, the gravels, the sand needs to be taken out of it.
Yeah.
And needs to be disposed. So we are saying you're going to have to put a waste to energy plant. And with this waste to energy plant, it's going to produce 40% of renewable energy. Do we have the large caloric value of garbage to maintain a waste to energy plant? For the first 5 years, perhaps yes. After that, no. But you have the front side, talk with them. We did that. You have St. Kitts and Nevis for their garbage. Talk with them.
So
We did that.
Have to implement it.
You will have to. You have Sabre and Stacia. And tell them, you don't have to none. We will take it. You have Sinbad. You have Anguilla. Can we maintain that? Yes, we can. So that's 40% from a waste to energy plant.
There'll always be garbage, by the way.
And there's always garbage.
Yeah.
And then I keep saying, you have the natural flow of wind out in the east from the Guana Bay area. Okay? You belt off the area with wind turbines, 10 of them. You speak to the bank campers. You talk to them about their land. That's going to produce another 20% of the renewable energy. All of a sudden, you're up to 60%. 60%. Then you have the solar energy. You have the salt pond. You look at what's happening in Sabre and Stacia. You duplicate the same thing and you put them on the angle in the Great Salt Pond, up on a horizon. That's going to produce another 10 to 15%. So what are you looking at? 85% of renewable energy. Are we going to get 100%? No, we are not going to get it. We are not going to get it.
Not in our lifetime, for sure.
Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
But these things that I'm talking about are tangible things. Yeah. This is a discussion you should be having with the Dutch government. That type of discussion. What is happening right now? No one knows. That's how you produce renewable energy for your country. That's how you're going to take away the fuel clause that is hurting people.
But MP, then why is it that advisors to prime ministers will allow them to make such a stupid statement? Because it reflects on us as a people.
Because the advisors to the prime minister themselves need advisors. That's why.
No, it's just unfortunate because, when you look at GEBE, very nice company, good people, hard-working workers,
people.
and they're committed to
what they're doing. Hard-working people.
And a lot of them I speak with, they're so demoralized now.
But it's not only GEBE. It's not. But you see, you're picking one entity.
No, I come
it's
to
across the board.
The airport.
They are demoralized. Tell them they are demoralized. The police officers. We have created a huge problem in this country. And that's with our security forces in this country, which is the police officers and justice workers. Right now, as I speak, I know of another 11 that
they're leaving?
Leaving.
Wow.
And the others are simply waiting for the governor to sign. We will be losing our police officers in droves.
What's going on?
They will be leaving.
Why?
The treatment that they have received. And they have lives of their own. I have spoken to a few, and I have literally begged them.
But tell them to hold on. Things are going to change.
That's the same thing I told. I say, hold on. I say, give the next government a chance to fix this. Give me a chance. I'm going to fix it. But I can't take away from what they're saying. Chris?
Could it be that they're hurt by the former minister?
Definitely.
Who made a promise and...
Definitely. Definitely.
So
look, listen, I have spoken to a sergeant, 30 years in the force. 30 years in the force, 27 years in the force, 25 years in the force. Goes home with 2,600 guilders.
Wow, that's the money.
2,600 guilders. It's unacceptable. And then it took them so long to receive what they have received after 11, 13 years. No pain and suffering has been taken into consideration. Over time, taken away. The treatment is horrendous, is horrible from this government.
So where do we go?
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. And this is why I'm asking the people of St. Maarten. We cannot continue heading where we heading. It's the wrong direction.
Right. In case you just joined us, I'm Earl Gibbs here with MP Emmanuel, leader of the Now Party. You're either watching us on YouTube, Facebook, or TV Carib, or you're listening to us on Hot 99.9 FM radio. When we come back, we'll continue with MP Emmanuel, leader of the Now, right here on Earl Gibbs Live. Please do this.
Hey, don't guess about your insurance. Be sure that you're covered. Like with your car. Like your home. Be sure to be covered in case of a fire, flood, hurricane, or some other natural disaster. And travel insurance. Because you never know what could happen when you're on vacation. You could lose your passport, your luggage, or have an accident. So be sure that you're covered.
Insure yourself fast and easy with Be Sure from the Windward Islands Bank Limited. Visit your preferred WIB branch, WIB Insurance Services, or BeSureSt.Martin.com. Get your Be Sure insurance at the Windward Islands Bank, your partners in progress.
For real? Somebody came in here and steal my curtains? Well, it's a good thing I'm insured with Be Sure. Because even the contents of my apartment are covered. Don't play guessing games with your insurance. Be sure.
Are you be sure? Be sure.
Like to advertise on Hot 99.9 FM radio, give us a call at 520-6070. That's 520-6070 if you like to advertise on Hot 99.9 FM radio. I'm Earl Gibbs here with MP Emmanuel, leader of the No Political Party. MP, man, no. There's so many. Why is everything going bad? I mean, the hospital, you drive by there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people working on a huge multi-million-dollar project. Juliana International Airport, confusion, people not happy, people are being, what's going on?
You know, Orel, I sometimes try to understand the Minister of VSA, and I'm saying that if there's anyone that should understand construction, is the individual, because he's good at what he does in terms of being a contractor and being an engineer. And I tell people that don't take it because Emmanuel says it, because Emmanuel continues to say only 4 workers there, only 6 workers there on a multi-million-dollar project, $40 million already. When I tell them, I said, go stand by it in the morning where you're supposed to be seeing machines moving, crane moving, concrete pumping, something going on. And then leave there and just go by Pineapple Pete and look across the street. Is it Pineapple Pete or?
Yeah, across the street from
and then and then look across the street. Look at the hills. Look at the project that is called The Hills. Started after the hospital, during the pandemic, with the war in Ukraine. Because those are the excuses that you have. Inflation, prices gone up, materials can't reach. Where are they getting their materials from? But what is even more disturbing in particular, Oral, and this is what I want the people of St. Martin to be aware of, and I'm even pointing my fingers at the institutions that is allowing this, because again, it is the money and the pension money of our people. APS money is involved. Villanova money is involved. SZV money is involved in that hospital. And look at it. And I'm going to say it again. It's just a matter of time, and we will see that it is a problem.
But the MP, there are some people building a regular 3-bedroom house in St. Martin. They have more people at the site than at that construction.
I always make fun of my neighbor, my partner next door by me, just add on top of his house with an extra bedroom and a porch, and he alone had 12 workers on it. 12.
Aren't you concerned that that thing might...
Who, me? If I am not concerned? Well, I'm devastated. The concern hurts. It hurts. Why it hurts? Because I am seeing the increase in the pensionable age again. Yeah. I am seeing a decrease in the pension payout again to
We
pensioners.
should have been seeing a new hospital opening now.
The ribbon should have been cutting all now. But I am concerned and I am disturbed with what is to come. Because that's what you're going to get. You're going to get an increase in the pensionable age.
Yeah.
You're going to get a decrease in the pension payout because they're simply going to say, we cannot maintain the pension fund. It happened. And what are we going to do? Run to the Dutch government to bail us out? What is it going to take this government and the people of St. Maarten to look at that project and say, no, something is definitely wrong?
But the minister, as you said, comes
He's
from
not pleased
construction.
with the progress.
But
he comes.
He have the power to
Yes.
use there.
Yes. Yes.
MP, the airport. You're satisfied now? Things are a little more quiet now. Seems to
Where?
be,
Where? Quiet now where? With the airport? Where? What is quiet about it? Where's the airport? It's neither here nor there. What are we celebrating? Jet bridges? Where is it? The other day they had the immigration officers in an oven. In an oven. So hot it was.
huge lines there.
Okay? But it must be huge lines because we are, again, Oral, our people. The manner in which we treat our people. Those immigration officers are our people. They're not foreigners. And even foreigners, that should not
But
be
let's
done
be real, MP. The CEO is a Seman person too.
What? Where? How? Then something is wrong. But no foreigner, I've always said it now, no foreigner have ever done nothing to me in this country. You know? It has always been my people that have done anything or everything to me in this country. That hurts. That's disturbing. That's just wrong. It's impossible that he's a St. Martiner and he watches his people and sees this happening. Audrey Jack is a St. Martiner. The girl Shilling Ford is a St. Martiner. The immigration officers are St. Martiners.
His contract is due to expire. Will you support renewal?
Absolutely not. He should be more. I have been saying it from day one. Absolutely not. And it will be a crying shame. And you are just going to add more insult to all that have been done wrong by renewing his contract. It should be thanks and no thanks. We look elsewhere. But that is just one aspect of it, Oral. It is a whole Skipper group and everything else that is there. It's not just the CEO. It's the whole management of the airport.
But MP, do you know that Princess Juliana International Airport was the envy of the
Then let's
entire
get Holiday back there. Or get Regina back there.
And that was by St. Martin people.
St. Martin people. Then let's get them back there.
Wow. The central bank.
Yeah, I need Dr. Holiday for Dr. Landers Holiday for the central bank.
I think he
I
was
am
a
vehemently in the ears of everyone to secede from the central bank.
Have our own central bank.
To have our own central bank.
Yeah, yeah.
To have our own central bank. Yeah, I believe we should dollarize our economy too as well. And in the beginning, I was not a proponent of it.
What made you change?
What makes me change is when you speak to experts.
Okay.
Because I was looking at the 27 million that we produce everywhere from the $1 excise that goes to the central bank again. And now that we have worked out a plan in terms of the now, we intend to double that amount, even if we are dollarized. But it's going to cost us much more to maintain a currency.
Right.
It's going to cost us
Then if
much
you
more.
dollarize.
And again, the business that we are in is tourism.
But MP, we don't have to go too far.
We don't.
Look what Holland did to the best
To Sabon
island.
Station, Bonaire.
They
But look at
didn't go
Tatola.
euro.
Look at all the British Virgin Islands. They don't use the pound.
Why are we making it so difficult?
And these are the things that's going to directly benefit our economy. Directly. Because, again, it's 22 or 27% of the central bank we own. I want it all.
We are already dollarized anyway. No?
Okay? We're already dollarized. Or all my gold, I want it all. All the monies that comes with it, I want it all. And I don't want
you
it.
see now you're pissing off people with those statements, and when you say those things, they
But it's what's best for my country. It's what's best for my people. It's what's going to advance and make them entrepreneurs and make them wealthy in their country. When you get a central bank that regulates the economy, regulates the bank, or I am in discussion with a bank right now as we speak. From last year, November, we started the discussion of getting a loan. Here I am in the middle of May, still waiting on an answer for that loan. And guess how much it is that I'm asking for? Just call a number, Oral. Just call a figure.
I can't get
$10,000.
No, I can't. It's so long.
$10,000. I have already played 2 partner hands for $10,000. I'm going into the third one.
Wow.
It is your money. They have moved now to interest and charge for everything, the banks. A bank account. You can't even call the banks on the phone and get them. The manner in which they treat St. Maarten people, our seniors, the moment you hit 60, that's it for you. But you still got life.
You can't.
You still got vigor.
But you can't even get a loan unless you have.
You can't get a loan no more. You can't buy a washing machine. You can't go and say, well, look, listen, my fridge is 15 years old. My furniture is 20 years old. I want to spruce up my house.
That old saying that life begins at 60, ends at 60.
It ends at 60 here in this country. Because the banks don't recognize you. You got 4 apartments, but oh yeah, you're done 60 already. We can't give you nothing. But when you have a central bank and it regulates and says, no, these things are unacceptable, and we need our own.
And it goes also MP for the insurance companies too, huh?
Even worse.
55, they just cut you off without it.
You're finished.
Oh.
How can you look at a country and look at someone who is 60 years old and say their life is over? I always say this to some friends of mine. The gentleman Friday doesn't even know that others call his name in this because he doesn't really know. But take Leo Friday. Look at the gentleman.
He look good for his age, huh?
He's in his late 70s, you know.
Yeah, he looks very good for his age.
70-something now.
Yeah.
But you're going to say his life is done? Look at our seniors today walking and running and exercising and walking around. Look at them today. Mm-hmm. And you're saying, how 60 became a senior? And now we're gone to 62. And now you want to put it to 65. And then you're going to talk about 67.
Yeah.
And soon you're going to be up to 72. But they can't get no help. There is no pension fund, Oral, for casino workers, you know.
Yeah.
There's no pension fund for taxi drivers, you know.
The whole tourism industry.
There is none.
Which we should have done many
years ago. And that's why I tell the people of St. Maarten, I have a plan. I have a plan. These are the things that we need to fix. Those things need to be fixed.
But why do you think no one did it before?
Because we became so caught up with everything else around. Oh, what Aruba thinks. Oh, it got to be a consensus with Aruba and Curacao and what the Dutch and no one is saying, listen, I am putting all of that to the side. My concern, and my only concern, is St. Maarten. And I'm going to maintain it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep saying it. Yeah, the Dutch government, you can think whatever you want to think about the prison. Skipper, you can think whatever you want to think about the airport and the mutual agreement and this and that. Here, the Prime Minister signed a mutual agreement. What benefit is a mutual agreement to the population of St. Maarten? What is it? Is it going to stop our seniors from waiting and sitting outside of the banks to collect their pension? Where's the increase that was promised to them? Where are the opportunities for entrepreneurs and being able to access financing?
How you feel about
Where is it?
How you feel about a development bank for Simon?
I am the one that proposed a development bank. I send the documents to the Senate in this country. I still have the paper at home.
I hope it's not.
I still send
after
it.
the former Nelson Tilly's development bank.
Not the one that you're talking about. No, absolutely
The
not.
reason why I said is because contributions were made by the banks and the insurance companies to that. So OBNA had to always maintain interest rates
Up now.
above
No.
above the commercial bank. That's not.
But that's not a development bank.
Exactly.
That's not the policy and the philosophy of a development bank. You cannot have your interest rates higher if you're talking about development. One doesn't go with the other.
But it was a big lie. So to the
One
people
doesn't
of
go with
Nelson
the other.
Tilly's. And that happened in the former
Okay.
Nelson Tilly's.
In Curacao, there's a development bank called Copadeco. You see all the what you call the
So
all the
OBNA
taxi
was,
drivers.
no, that's OBNA was for the entire Nelson Tilly's.
Right.
And now this one you're mentioning is
in Curacao.
Oh.
All the Tukipang, if I'm pronouncing it correct, all the entrepreneurs, all the taxi drivers, all the bus drivers, all the self-business, they are funded by the development bank in Curacao.
we need a real
all the
development
fishermen
bank
with
for
their
Simon.
boats and everything. What do we
real
have here? What do we have here to assist and help and grow?
And the reason why MPS say because every time we do something, we always start to look at how Curacao did it. We gotta be careful because Simran is different.
And this is the reason why I said there cannot be a consensus with Aruba, Curacao, and St. Maarten. It has to be St. Maarten alone. Because yes, we enjoy and we maintain and we are part of the family of the Netherlands Antilles. That's our makeup. Culturally, that's our makeup. But our levity is something different. Because right now, as we speak, Oral, you better start checking your insurance policy. You better start checking your cistern, because water. You better start checking how strong your roof is. We are going into the what? The hurricane season. Curacao and Aruba don't have to do that. They don't have to worry about
Every year
that.
we gotta start.
Every year, we have to do that. And the insulting part of it is when the Dutch government come and say they are sending money to build back better. If it's one thing St. Maarten contractors and people know or knew is how to build for hurricane. The discussion is not that we are building inferior, is that hurricanes are much more stronger and bigger. And why is that? It's because of your industrializing. It's because of your carbon emissions that's coming out from the west to the horn and the belly of Africa that spits out these monsters, and we are the inheritance of it.
And now they're asking us to contribute.
And now you're asking us,
Boy.
okay, those who have been the victims of your industrial revolution. But we have to pay for it. But that shouldn't be surprising, because we here in St. Maarten had to pay for everything. We built our educational system. We built our healthcare system. We built our economy. And we have done this on our own. And I'm saying this to the St. Maarten people. We can continue and do it much better on our own.
Well, MP Emmanuel, we only
Don't tell me the
have
time finished already.
minutes. It's all yours and close it.
1 minute?
It goes fast.
Oh, man. Well, again, I just want to thank you for the opportunity. It finished already. You told me 20 minutes I had a while
It
ago.
goes fast.
You know, I want the people of St. Maarten to understand this message. That this is something new. That this is a message that focuses on you. This is a message that's saying, this is your country. And the solutions to this country can only come from us. I am not taking nothing away, and I say it and I repeat it over and over. It is absurd for them to say, I hate. It's a strong word to use. The Dutch government. No, absolutely not. The policies does not reflect the day-to-day living here in St. Maarten. And I'm saying to the people of St. Maarten, you have in a person, in a party, in a government that's going to focus on this island we call St. Maarten. And when I speak this way, I speak this way for St. Maarten. Our brothers and sisters on the northern side is our people. We are collaborating nothing with them. It is time that St. Maarten focus on St. Maarten and focus on it now.
Well, MP, I want to thank you. Wish you much
Thank you very
success.
much.
MP Emmanuel, leader of the No Political Party, on Oral Gibbs Live on Hot 99.9 FM radio. See
There
you
we
next
go, radio.
week. All right. Take care, MP.
Yes.
All right,
Thank you very much,
thanks.
Earl.
Bye. Until next time. Bye.
Take care of yourself, people. God bless you guys.